Overthinking really comes from a place of you trying to control the outcome. And a lot of times, if you're into alchemy or manifestation, and you understand that you just have to align your vibration, your emotion, your current reality with the reality that you want to manifest for the most part, there's really no need to overthink. And more often than not, you'll be in circumstances where if you start overthinking, you're fucking up the whole thing. Like, you're messing up the whole situation. You might mess up a relationship because you're overthinking. You might mess up a job because you're overthinking. You might be trying to perform as an artist or maybe a content creator, and you're overthinking your content. Now you can't create as much content as effectively. Like, you start doing a whole bunch of shit all because you're overthinking. And it comes from a place of subconscious lack, and it forces you to try and overcompensate with actions. For example, if you're overthinking as a basketball player or someone who's, an athlete, and you start overthinking on the field, it ruins your performance. When if you were to just completely let go and detach, a lot of the instinctual moves that you've drilled inside of your brain from doing repetitions thousands and thousands and thousands of times is gonna click in. That's why if you do affirmations, or if you do any sort of positive reinforcement when it comes to you living in your desired reality, and you basically speaking life into yourself, then there is no need to overthink if you're going into a job interview or if you're on a sales call, whatever it might be. If you just keep putting in the work consistently and following the inputs to get your desired output, it is basically universal law that you're going to get what you want. And it doesn't necessarily need to be material even. It can just be other things in life that bring you joy, peace, and fulfillment. Because if you decide that, money is going to be the number one thing that you put your energy into, then trying to overthink every single move and every single penny, for the most part, might get you success in some way, shape, or form. But if you really embody the energy of someone who makes money, gets money, and is money, is the business idea, is the entrepreneur, and is the success, versus is going to become a success, or is chasing success, is chasing a dream, and actually shifting it to becoming and living inside of that frequency, it's almost just inevitable that time is going to catch up to what you're doing. And I feel like a lot of people, they don't really understand just how much overthinking can not only plague your mind, but overthinking can really destroy relationships with other people too. Because if you're someone who's an overthinker, like chronically overthinking, then oftentimes you're not even present in the relationships that you're with. You're not even really with the person, because you're always thinking about what this person is thinking about versus just actually listening to what that person might have said or is saying to you currently. And oftentimes, as someone who's an overthinker himself, you really just lose sight in terms of what's in front of you. And you honestly can have months, if not years, go by where you realize that you were never really present with that person in the relationship, because you were constantly thinking about whether or not they were cheating on you, whether or not they were doing this or that and this, and then maybe it came true, maybe it didn't. But at the end of the day, you lived life in your head, when there's a certain level of power and just calmness that comes from living inside of your body, right? That somatic experience of having a regulated nervous system, as well as having a very calm mind, is extremely powerful. Not only for you trying to grow your business, you trying to make sure you have the best health, but it's also just powerful overall, just as someone who wants to be spiritual and more conscious of their decisions and actions. When you're constantly always in your thinking mind, in your egoic mind, you never have the capability to truly understand how you feel internally. And you almost become numb to your body's internal signals. And that's the worst thing about, having a dysregulated nervous system, is that you could be completely numb to how your body truly feels on the inside. You might not even know it for years. You might just be scrolling, using drugs, addicted to thing after thing after